Iain Stirling, welcome to the Strawberry Alarm Clock. How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you for having me on the Strawberry Alarm Clock. It's a pleasure to be here, actually.
It's a bright studio. It would wake you up in the morning.
It's new. I've been... my coffee has been banished from this beautiful, beautiful building.
You know what? You're not the only person that has given out about such a thing.
The look of panic on people's faces as I approach this room, brandishing my coffee.
We're just waiting for one person in the afternoon to wreck this, so that means we can all drink coffee. We just don't want it to be on our watch just yet.
Do you know what it feels like? It felt like when I had my coffee. It felt like when sometimes when I go to a sort of Irish mammy's house and ask for a coffee instead of tea. So that same sort of look of disgust.
What have you brought home with you?
A relative of ours the other day got annoyed at me for having a coffee with my lunch. What are you having a coffee with a sandwich for?
Yeah, it's like you have to have it after your lunch. You can't have it with your lunch.
I think Starbucks, Pret, all those people would disagree strongly. They've made quite a strong business model around that, actually.
You must get so much of that where you're looking, because the Irishisms were quite wild when it comes to things.
It's such Ireland's so... it's so similar to Scotland, but then you've got these lovely idiosyncrasies that I really love, and it's normally just older ladies in Ireland are just phenomenal. They're just warriors. I love the way they describe people. You ever notice how old Irish ladies describe people? They always give you a really normal fact about the person and then a mad fact about the person. So be like, oh, do you know Robert? And I'll be, no, Robert, he went to school with Laura. He's got two legs, one shorter than the other. That sort of thing.
Robert, yes,
Robert. You know Joan, she lives across the road. She once kicked that cat. You're like, what's going on? What is this?
Yeah, you're actually bang on there, Ian.
And we find that mammy dinners are the best in Ireland.
Like they never end.
Never end. They're so... Look at the size of me. That's the reason why. I am a well-fed man from mammy dinners.
Laura's mum's always got about 95 things frozen in the fridge and cans of Guinness.
Oh, yeah. Go on, Laura's mum.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
you're in Ireland. You're going to say your second home now.
It is. It genuinely is. Like, I love it here. I always thought when I moved to London, I'd assume I'd have met an English lady and then convinced her to move to Scotland. That was sort of the plan. And then I met an Irish lady, and now the problem is we love Scotland and we love Ireland, so we've just had to settle, and London is this happy middle ground.
It's a good mid place.
Yeah.
Good middle ground.
It's a commuting town to the best places in the world, Ireland and Scotland.
And I always find, you can probably see from looking in, the Irish stick together in London.
Yeah.
There's a lot of us, and I have friends over there now. I'm like, how do you know that person? They're like, oh, I met them in a pub one night and we exchanged numbers and now we're best friends.
Nights out, I genuinely believe you lot have got walkie-talkies. This sort of military operation takes place every time. Quickly, Donald's in a pub, and they all radio in and then they all join one another. We've been out in New York and ended up with 12 people on a night out. And our friend Aisling went to New York recently, and Laura's like, oh, my friend Jason runs a pub there, an Irish one, believe it or not. And then she went, and we're getting selfies of 40 people in this pub together. They're all best mates. That's what I'm really jealous. The one thing I'm jealous of as a Scottish person, I think we're very proud, but we're very proud of Scotland as in you're in it.
Okay.
Of Scotland. Ireland, there's a lot more, there's an idea of you venturing out.
Yeah.
Travelling to new places, and there's that sort of culture.
And then we flock together wherever we are. We manage to gather. So
yes.
Scottish don't really gather.
We do gather, but it would be in Scotland, and then we complain about everywhere else. Mainly how much things cost everywhere else. Although currently everywhere's insane prices.
We're all getting screwed.
Everything's insane.
Either way. We need to talk about your new show, Relevant. It's a strong word, and I think every single one of us every day wake up going, what are we doing today to be relevant?
I know, it started off with this social media thing, because you don't have a show when you start. when you put it on sale, you sort of don't have anything. And I ended up worrying more about what videos I'm going to make and what like TikToks I'm going to do to like sell the tour than I was of actually writing a tour. So that's where the word relevant came from. And then I've just sort of went, do you know what? That'll sort itself, hopefully. I tried TikTok. And then do you know that it's got a filter? TikTok's got a default filter that like, makes your teeth whiter. Did you know this?
I saw that and I was like, what is going on with my face? There's one that puts lipstick on you. Does that one pop up for you?
Yeah.
No, he's just wearing lipstick now.
This is just me. I've just got Wednesday Addams lipstick and eyeliner on anyway. But this is like the default. This is built into it. It makes you look better. So the idea being when you do a TikTok, you go, oh, I look great. You do more TikToks. But it doesn't make my teeth whiter. It just makes my beard grayer.
Oh, no.
So I was like, I'm done with TikTok. But yeah, it's about that, being a dad. What's my relevance in my own house? Being a dad. Online. I sort of feel like I'm a conduit between the two worlds now because I'm a dad in his 30s, but I work on Love Island, so I feel like I know both of those worlds. I'm like a translator of like Gen Z to the millennials.
We need you though. We need your commentary because otherwise we're looking going, what? Like, are you ever commentating going, what am I actually talking? What am I actually doing?
I've Google translated a few of the more modern terms. I've learnt words from Love Island.
I feel like I'm listening to a different language sometimes when I watch Love Island.
Yeah,
so we need you there.
There's a lot of gas isn't that modern, but there's all these ones like there's a lot of things that involve heat and stuff.
Yes.
But I can't think of the words now. I'm too old to remember.
Do you know what? I've said this before. The word that drives me crazy, and I always find people in their teens to maybe early 20s doing is fair.
Oh, fair.
Oh, that's fair. Like you've just knocked down
is
something.
It? That drives me mad.
Yeah, I'd say ask Laura because it's an Irish thing. So you've
I
just
thought you went, oh, it's a cool thing. Ask Laura. You won't understand Ian, but ask Laura.
because they're all doing it. So you've just won a lot. Oh, fair. Someone's died.
Right.
Fair.
I have heard this.
Oh, it's so annoying.
It's fair is the new literally.
Oh.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I think I still use literally.
You literally use literally.
I literally use literally all the literal time.
But it's when people use literally, not literally, that's what does my head in. This is just an old man complaining now. I do apologise.
You're in a safe space here. We're going through it all.
We love to complain. We love to complain here.
Do you find that now when you're in the shop and all that, when people hear your voice is so iconic?
Yeah.
As well as your face, but your voice is so iconic.
Oh, no. My voice is much more famous than my head.
Isn't that brilliant, though?
It's so nice. Well, you guys will know.
Yeah,
this
I get
is
it
week,
the other time.
Ian. This is week 4 for me.
Well, you've got the best of both worlds.
There you go. I know. I'm incognito.
Yeah.
Incognito over
like
here.
when you're going to buy something, will you get double takes from people going, go on, no issue?
I'm all right. Like now because everything's done on the phone, isn't it? Online banking and stuff's a nightmare.
While we're talking about complaints.
Yeah. So I'm just you're 3 weeks late with this payment. Oh yeah, sorry about that. So, are you the Love Island guy? Yeah, sorry about that.
Oh,
yeah. So the
good
voice
way.
is mad. As long as I don't speak, I can sort of get about my day really, and I look different day to day.
To be honest, like Ian, I googled you, right? Because I was doing a little bit of research, and then I was like, you looked so different back in like 20. Now we've all changed.
No, but
We've
I
all
look
I've
changed.
got
like
tissues for this man. He's gonna have a mental breakdown.
No,
now.
I look like I've had the toughest paper round of my life.
I know. Here, stop. Your hair back in the day, you could have been in McFly. You could. I have to say it, Ian.
Do you know why I had that fringe? I had the biggest fringe, and it is not my fault. It is the fault of Tom DeLonge from Blink-182 and Charlie Simpson from Busted.
Always wanted
it
his hair.
was.
I always wanted his hair.
Always.
I always wanted his hair.
Never worked. My hair doesn't grow down that long, and I've tried my best to get the Karen hair. You know when it kind of swipes down.
Karen hair.
You're going Charlie Simpson and Blink-182, and he's going for Karen.
That's
never
what
gets
I
well.
looked like. I was like an 18-year-old Karen.
From Scotland, walking around the place. Oh,
I know. I would just, that was it. I'd go out clubbing and then complain about, can you put the noise down, please?
I'm gonna tweet about this now.
I'm going to speak to Mary about this. You have lost my custom. I'm giving you a 1-star review on TripAdvisor.
We're there. Look, we're there. I feel it. We're there.
With my skinny jeans. Do you remember the really skinny jeans?
I went through that phase as well. I think we've the same kind of dress.
And then I think we're quite similar as well, where I've not got the torso for skinny jeans.
As you can see, no.
No, you look terrific.
I know how you feel.
I've got a bootcut jean belly, 100%. But I wore skinny again, like a Karen. I'm a pair of Skechers away from being a Karen, basically. A pair of Skechers and a gilet.
That is a look. That is a look that I hope you'll be rocking on your tour.
Oh, well, do you know what? That'd be quite funny.
Just rock up in
walk in,
Skechers.
people going, what's going on? Yeah. They'll all know.
So is Karen? You'd say Karen's in Ireland?
Yeah.
Yeah, big time.
Is that the name? Is there an Irish name that's the equivalent of a Karen?
No, I think it's Karen.
I think it is Karen.
I think it is Karen.
It's not like a Sinead or something like that.
Don't be such a Sinead. You're such a Siobhan.
Fidelma down there. Look at Fidelma.
Fidelma.
That doesn't even sound real.
They need to bring back those old Irish names like Agnes.
Agnes. That's Agnes
name.
is a real Scottish name.
Is it?
I know
Agnes.
loads of Agneses. Yeah.
I thought we claimed that as our own.
Yeah, and
I thought
my mom's name is Margaret. There's no more babies called Margaret or Keith anymore.
The baby
but
Keith.
I don't know. This is a bit rude for Strawberry Alarm Clock, but you can't breastfeed a Keith.
No, you can't. You can't.
Imagine breastfeeding a Keith.
He's paying a mortgage and he's got 3 kids.
Oh, he'll be there. Been watching I'm a Celebrity, have you? Nom, 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 nom.
Oh, I love it. We're all imagining Keiths right now, right across
stop.
Dublin.
There's at least one Keith driving his car now, turning to his missus going, "Ooh."
Oh,
Vicar
Vicar
Ian.
Street is a beautiful place.
It's
to
amazing,
perform.
man. I love it. Again, this is why I hope you feel I've got a bit of an energy about me, because with all due respect to everywhere, sometimes I have to go to like Yarm in England and go, what an honour it is to perform in Yarm. And it is lovely. But when you go to Dublin and you perform in Vicar Street, I can genuinely hand on my heart say it's the top 3 venues in in Europe. I've not played much of Europe. I've basically played Dublin. But the point is,
It's a good spot.
UK and Ireland, it's definitely, do you know what I mean? There's the Kings in Glasgow, which is phenomenal space, and then there's Vicar Street in Dublin, and literally those are probably up there. Hackney Empire in London, maybe.
Wow.
And you know what? You're performing on the 30th of March. So that gives people plenty of time to go wild for Paddy's Day and then have a break and then go back out. So you timed it well.
Be respectful on Good Friday.
You have to.
And then get hammered on Saturday.
There you go.
But do you know, I came to Ireland on when I was 18. I came to Ireland, so back in the day, we got cheap flights to Dublin. My first ever trip away with the boys, university.
Oh.
Good Friday. We got into the nightclub,
Filled.
thrown out at midnight. Thrown out at midnight. Closed. No booze. No, nothing open.
I forgot about that. So Good Friday, remember that?
Yeah,
Everything was closed.
I remember when I lived in London, I remember explaining that to my mates, being like, oh my God, I have to get to the shop before Good Friday. And they were like, well, what are you talking about? And I was like, do you not do that here? And they were like, absolutely not.
No, we sat in a hostel in Dublin playing cards with like a third of a bottle of vodka between 20 of us for the whole weekend.
All for
lads'
Jesus.
trip.
The Guinness storehouse closed down
Everything used to
because
close.
of the baby Jesus.
Think of the baby Jesus, Ian. Think of the baby Jesus.
I was thinking of him. the
I
whole
love
time.
how we have gone around the houses from Love
I know
Island to
we've
Jesus.
covered some ground, haven't we?
We haven't even got to talk about your podcast either.
I've got
There's
a
too much.
podcast.
Tell us about the podcast.
Murder They Wrote with Laura Whitmore and Iain Stirling.
And lots of accents.
Lots of I love an
I
accent.
love an accent.
But it's when it was on. We used to do a podcast on Spotify, and people quite enjoyed the accents. Now it's on the BBC, and it's a lot more official. And I feel like some BBC people are sort of listeners. We get the more mature listener, and they are not a fan of me just doing.
Your
Good
Margaret's
night,
and
mate. That sort of thing. So they
Margaret's
find
and
it quite grating. Yeah, a lot of Karens. But no, it's been. Joking aside, it's been amazing. Me and Laura done this, like, it's a true crime podcast, a sort of more light-hearted. We look at sort of older crimes and sort of light-hearted crime. Well, as light-hearted as crime can be.
Everyone's into crime, though, aren't we? We're all nosy, and this is the good thing about it.
That's it. We deal with true crime in the way you'd be watching it at home, like two people having a little gossip on the sofa. And we just can't believe how popular it's been. Like, folk have had the name of the podcast tattooed on them. One lady gave birth while listening to the podcast.
Wow.
Yeah, I
Wow.
know. My accent burst our waters or whatever.
It's good.
It's not burst, is it? Burst is a horrible word.
Broke.
Broke your waters.
Broke.
More
burst.
eloquent.
Don't burst your waters, whatever you do. Keith's burst my waters.
Go on the Keats. Go on the Keats. Before we let you go, Love Island, it's just such a juggernaut, isn't it? It must be a great time of year every time of year it comes around.
Yeah, it's fun. It's really, really fun, actually. And this year we're doing this like All-Stars thing. And in America, we done this thing called All-Stars the Games and had some like OGs back. Like
Curtis.
Yes.
Curtis.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Curtis was back. Maura was...
Maura was back as well.
I take it that clip was massive in Ireland.
It was
Maura
huge.
interviewing... It's so great.
Ah, God, love him.
And actually, one of our good pals is Greg O'Shea.
No
Mr.
way.
Greg O'Shea.
I
yeah.
would love him back.
Oh, so would we. But he is happily has a lovely girlfriend.
Oh, does he?
I'm sorry now, Ian.
Oh, come on, mate.
I know. I'm sorry.
One more spin of the dice.
And do you know
I'm
what?
calling you out, Greg. Do you know what? Just do it platonic. Do the first ever platonic Love Island contestant, Greg O'Shea.
And
A
now,
sort of agony uncle. You could be the agony uncle, Greg.
He gives good advice.
He gives
He does
great
very good
advice.
advice.
He feels like, from looking at him, I feel like he's a good cuddler.
Oh. He gives good hugs.
see, he's got a repellent at the
hugs.
minute. He's got a repellent at
What
the
do you
minute.
mean? Oh.
He's got a mustache.
Leave him. Leave him.
Oh.
He's kept it. Okay, November, it was class, it was brilliant. We're now in December and he still has this
He's still got
little
his
Ronnie on
moustache.
him, yeah.
Has he got? I bet someone set up a little ironic Instagram account.
They need
Greg
to do that.
O'Shea's tash.
Crossy will be there making it now.
The repellent from Love Island, the Tash. Ian, we could talk to you all day. It's been absolutely fantastic. We can't wait to see you in Vicar Street. It's going to be great.
Yeah, please come along. 30th of March. It's going to be a right laugh, I promise.
You can get your tickets on Ticketmaster.
Amazing.
There you go.
Thank you very much.
.ie.
Amazing.
There you go.
Hey, Irish.
You're listening to the Strawberry Alarm Clock with Jim, Crossy and Zeinab, my favourite.